Yo, mama, why you wanna be so crude? You must think of me as one rude dude, but you're the one with the sugar and spice, so why don't you just act real nice? It's the Science Fiction Rating System podcast. The podcast that aims to rank every film from 1 to infinity.
I didn't think you'd go there. You did.
Where else was it to go? My name's Sam Draper, and I am joined, as ever, by Chris Redding.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Chaps? Yeah, good.
And Alex Humphrey.
Hello.
How are you, Alex?
I'm fine, thank you very much. Yeah, and I'm already happy that you've made a reference to the Guyver. So
good. For people who might have forgotten from last week, we're doing 3 films from 1991, including the Guyver, from which that rap came.
Someone get the phone.
Yeah, whose phone's ringing?
Oh, that is in my house. I'm sorry.
Right.
Oh,
it's
damn it.
Mark Hamill on the phone.
You can hear everything. He is. He's upset. He's very upset.
Watch The Guyver, The Rocketeer, and Terminator 2: Judgement Day, all films from 1991, which is a bit of a loose theme, but it's good because you get different sort of stuff, don't you?
And also, it's because Terminator was back in the cinemas.
Yes.
Terminator 2 in the 3D
good work,
edition.
Alex. On message again.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yes.
On message. Yeah.
Yeah. So, let's just get straight into it, shall we? With our first film. We're going to start at the bottom, because why not? And, work up. Don't start.
I disagree already, but yeah, anyway.
Okay. So, the first film today is The Guyver. Which... let's start with Chris, because Chris, you'd not seen The Guyver before, had you? Or even heard of The Guyver?
I'd not even heard of it.
No.
But I had watched Power Rangers.
Yes.
Yeah, which I can see why you're saying that.
And it reminded me of that.
So, what was your first impressions of The Guyver?
Crap.
Would you care to elaborate at all, or is that it?
No, what is it? Is it a TV? What is it? A TV movie or something? What was it?
No, it was
movie? Or
it was because the originals that is
what
like
is
a
it
manga.
I'm looking at?
What is it? Is that was your problem? Is what have they made?
Yeah, 3 million in what year? 91.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's from a manga, isn't it? Basically, Alex, you know more about it than me. So
It's from a manga, Bio Booster Armor Guyver, as it's called, and they had the idea to. I mean, I see what you're saying already, Chris. But if you think of 1991, the potential, you can see why this was made. Then it does have the kind of elements of, you can see the marketing potential, merchandise-wise. You can see it kind of as a bit of a kids thing, bit of a teen thing. You can kind of see it was why a producer would have gone for this. I think
it's the same year as the first Turtles film, isn't it? Which has a similar sort of rubbery martial arts thing going on.
Yeah. And Screaming Mad George and Steve Wang, as we know, the guys behind this, because they're just obsessed with special effects, and I think one of them's Korean as well. They both of them are Asian American, I believe. So they knew about the manga and everything like that. And I think they did a lot of research to the original. I think they were trying not to be faithful, but to try and do something, like reasonable with it.
Yeah.
But I can see when Chris says, "What am I watching?" You can see there is a level of confusion as to, is it a comedy? Is it horror? Is it for kids? Is it for adults? It is a bit confusing.
It's for kids.
Well, it is, but then the transformation stuff's pretty horrific, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't want to jump the gun here,
I think
but
there's some
Mark
effing
Hamill,
and jeffing in it as well, isn't there?
There is a bit, yeah. Cockroach Mark Hamill is terrifying, isn't he?
Yes, it is terrifying, and I think that's a good. You don't expect that. I don't think you see that coming. I personally don't think you see that coming.
I disagree because he's in the tube, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't see the cockroach coming, but you know the transformation coming.
It's kind of like
horrible.
The Thing at the end, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember when I was a kid. I was obsessed with this film. We used to watch it all the time.
You're the 12 views that I saw on Putlocker.
Yeah, it must be. It must be me.
When I bought the DVD to watch this for this.
God.
The line I remembered, the line we were obsessed with is, you know, the bit in the beginning when Michael Berryman brings the lunchbox,
Yeah.
and it's a toaster, and he goes, "Who put that in there?" Like that. We used to quote that all the time. For some reason that was a line that became what we always used to say. But I remember watching.
Me and
that
Sam used to do
cockroach.
similar things with Muppets and Space.
Yeah.
Oh, well, when that comes up, you can reel them all off. No, but the cockroach bit, I remember at the time as a child, just like, I found that hilarious because I just thought it was such a fitting, like, I don't know, it's such a fitting, like, vision of what's happened to Mark Hamill's career at that point in 1991.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, Mark Hamill, this is you. But now as an adult, I feel it actually makes me a little bit sad that happens to him.
That was something going in my mind as well. Like even through the course of the film, like it starts off when he's playing a CIA agent in a bad film. You think that's not too bad. Then he's just stood around while somebody else does all the action scenes in a bad film. Then he's in a glass tube in a bad film, and then he's a cockroach in a bad film. So like it doesn't get any better for him, does it? Really, as it goes on. But
no. But I watched there's a documentary on I've got the Blu-ray, obviously. But there's a documentary with Brian Usner, and he said that it was actually a real coup for them to get, like, Mark Hamill.
I bet, yeah.
They were, like, really excited about getting him. And the crazy thing is that the woman that plays Mizki, Vivian Wu, who I just thought was awful.
Yes,
I just
terrible.
thought she was such a...
Yeah.
She's huge. She was in The Last Emperor, The Pillow Book, 8.5... I mean, she's a huge actress.
Yep.
And that was such a big deal, but she's awful.
she's really awful. I'm guessing, because I saw her credits as well, and this is quite early on in her career of, Western films, and I'm guessing that she got a better grasp of the language as her career went on, which probably made her acting better, because, I mean, she sounds like she's reading the script rather than talking, doesn't she?
Yeah.
It's really bad.
But yeah, no, she's...
The funniest thing looking at the credits is the guy that plays the doctor at the beginning, the guy that turns into a giant fish, and then they start weirdly, racistly kind of like going on about teriyaki sauce and stuff, don't they? But he, in 2 years sequentially, he played North Korean generals in Balls of Steel and Get Smart. Yeah, so that's being typecast, oddly.
Well, what other role was there for a Korean actor though in those,
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's an oddity. But I think it's a glorious oddity. That's my take on the Guyver. I love it still. I still thought it was great.
Well,
it's all quite dark. It's shot in the dark, so you don't see the crapness of the suits and stuff.
Oh, the suits are pretty. Come on, they're pretty.
Yeah, but
good.
it would look like Power Rangers if it was lit.
I think the one thing that you can give it is the effects work is good for the time, especially. I think the suits are very derivative. Like one's basically a gremlin, one's a predator, aren't they? Like they're sort of
Stryker's a gremlin mixed with Jar Jar Binks and nearly as racist, isn't he? Really? I mean,
Stryker, the real hero of the film, an absolute classic. His raps. But no, I think that's the only competent thing going on, the makeup design. I think, isn't it? Like it's sort of the.
It's and also they don't. What I like about it is they don't wimp out. They don't just go, "Oh yeah, this is what the most what is it? Zoonoids.
Yeah, I think so.
Zoonoids. Sorry, get it right. Most of them look like this, and then these are special ones. Everyone. I mean, even at the end when there's those two random scientists, they turn into other different suits.
Yeah.
I mean, it must have taken so long. The production must have been.
I reckon they just took them off the shelf. Them sort of things were used in every kids show, like Saturday morning kids show, them sort of shit.
Because they were special effects guys, surely they had the pride to just make them all up themselves.
I think they just got them from a warehouse.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they've clearly taken inspiration from other films, haven't they? Which makes me think they've made them themselves because they've just looked at models of the Predator or whatever.
Well, they might have. I'm not saying they might have got the head from one thing, and the arms from another.
Although you say the special effects are good, although that effect at the end when he fights the monster and they've just strapped an arm to the front of the camera, to waving it around, that's hilarious.
Yes, no, the effects aren't good. The suits are good. Good suits.
Yeah, the suits are good.
I'll go with it. But I wasn't particularly impressed.
Have you seen the original Predator when they had Jean-Claude Van Damme wearing
the lizard,
the first suit,
a green effect suit? That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned Turtles before, and it does more than anything remind me of that first Turtles film because that's like very dark, like this, isn't it? And has that sort of Power Rangers-esque Japanese
Yeah.
TV sort of thing about the fighting and stuff like that. I mean, that's a better film. It's not a great film, but
Yeah.
it's better than this.
No. I think because you said it was a tenuous link, the 91 thing, but I would actually argue that, number one, Rocketeer and this are linked by the fact that they're both looking for a gadget that has been stolen, right? Number two, I think there are three pretty good baddies in all these films. I think the guy that plays, what's his name? Fulton Bulkus, the crazy baddie guy, I think he's kind of hilariously bad in this, with his weird mind control.
I prefer the guy, the dude with the funny face who's going around doing all
Okay, Michael Berryman, yeah, anyway. Yeah, I guess. But my third link, I would say, to these three films is that they all have extremely weak leading men.
Yeah, that's true, actually, isn't it? Yeah.
Because, and the guy in this especially, he's just awful. I mean, he only gets the Guyver suit because he mistakenly headbutts it, and that's how you activate it, is by headbutting it, isn't it?
Have you noticed as well about that character in it? And this is a trend in bad films you've watched, that quite often in these films, the lead male character has a really weird relationship with female characters, in like very weirdly dismissive, and like when he comes to the door and or he's he's there and Max comes around, Mark Hamill's character.
Oh, I love that.
And he's like, I better go. I'm going to go. Well, you don't have to go.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to go. No, you can stay. It's fine. No, I'll just go out and get some food. And and also Mark Hamill, the way everything that I can't remember her name, Mitsuki says, he either rolls his eyes or looks a like stupid woman, which I don't know. It's a bit.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. No, he's just. I mean, I don't know. The fight scenes are reasonably choreographed, but he's so weak. Like when that guy just keeps beating him up in the beginning for no reason.
Yeah, because
it's
knocks his scooter over.
yeah. No, but I would say all these three films suffer from having quite weak leading men in different ways. But this, I mean, I don't know. I don't think a strong leading man would have saved Guyver, but it might have helped it. If he's a bit more charismatic, it might have helped it a bit.
No. Okay. Chris, you've been very quiet. Have you got anything else you want to say about the Guyver before we move on?
No, I mean, it took me a few times to actually get through it because I found it very hard work. It was not my sort of thing at all.
No.
I could, if you're a kid, maybe you might find it interesting, but nowadays it wouldn't even stand. I mean, the quality of what we have in this genre now is like mainstream good now, isn't it? Like, so the same with Rocketeer as well. But yeah.
Fair enough. Well, let's rank it then, shall we? I don't know. Let someone else go first. Alex, you can go first.
I would say underneath Flash Gordon.
Yeah, I'll be right with that. Chris?
No, because there's some good films here, like Safety Not Guaranteed.
Not like that.
I would put it probably 43. So we're talking under The Martian, but above Superman 4.
Oh.
See, I'd also take that.
Because it's got the same sort of crapness as Theodore Rex. We're in this sort of area, I think.
Definitely. I mean, it is a better film than Theodore Rex, isn't it, I think?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Just about.
It's a better film. But do you think it's a worse film than Universal
It's a bit like Flight of the Navigator.
The Return.
Remember Flight of the Navigator?
It's better than Universal Soldier.
Yeah, well, Universal Soldier's underneath My Stepmother is an Alien, so surely it should be above that then.
39?
So what's that below?
It's not better than...
My Stepmother was an Alien, above Universal Soldier.
I think it's better than My Stepmother and Alien, but I can see all the problems with it, and also I just love it because of nostalgia. So, all right, if that's what you're saying, I will give in at this stage because I know I'm on my own in liking it. But
it's not better than The Martian or Armageddon and Prometheus.
Those films actively piss me off, though. This doesn't.
At least,
this is just a bit bad.
Yeah, the Guyver sort of knows what it is more, doesn't it?
Yeah,
that's the way I look at it. When I go there's a difference between like bad films, which is what the Guyver is, and films that shouldn't be bad but are like actively upsetting me, like in a way. Like The Martian, has the budget and the means and the talent to be a good film, and yet it's rubbish. Whereas the Guyver is made by some special effects people with actors who can't act. So it's punchable. It's wait for what it is in a way. So I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's my defence. My passionate defence of the Guyver, and that's as far as it goes.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Guyver fans across the world. We thank you. Guyverettes, as we like to call ourselves.
The Guyverettes.
No, I don't know. I'll have to find out. I'm sure there are some people out there who like this film.
Have you seen Guyver 2?
There's 12 out there, apparently.
12, yeah. Have you seen
I think I have.
Yeah.
It's not the same guy, is it? It's a different lead.
It's David Hayter, in the second one.
Yeah.
And there's no...
It's better, isn't it?
I don't remember. I saw it a long time ago.
Well, we're not watching it, so forget about it.
We are at some point, because we're watching every single film ever made, so at some point it will be.
Yeah. You'll have a break before then, don't
They're making them quicker than we can watch that.
Stryker's not in it, so I'm not interested, really. That's my thing. Right,
God.
We'll have a break, and then we shall return with The Rocketeer. Back with The Rocketeer. Oh, before that, stay tuned for the end of the show where we will be announcing the first of our birthday films. It's a little teaser to keep you going.
Yeah, it's someone's birthday. Well, it was someone's birthday.
Spoilers.
Yeah,
but you have to wait for that.
Maybe
for
someone
now,
else is soon.
That's true. This one else is soon. For now, it's The Rocketeer, directed by Joe Johnston. Screenplay by Danny Bilson and Paul DeMeo. Forgot to do this for the last film, but I'll do it.
Yeah.
Oh well. So, The Rocketeer, which I thought I'd seen, but I don't think I had seen, having now watched it.
Same here.
Yeah, me too.
And obviously a much bigger budget thing than The Guyver, and really it feels as though it's sort of like missing from time in a way. As though like all the films that are like this sort of era of big blockbuster with that sort of score, Indiana Jones-esque, that sort of thing, all of these films are sort of tattooed on my brain because they're on all the time when we were kids, except The Rocketeer. Do you not think?
What? I see what you're saying, but I would counter that with...
Batman?
Yeah, Batman, Flight of the Navigator, like I said earlier on, like all those sorts of films of...
yeah, I would counter that by saying it's because of...
Go on, sorry.
It's because The Rocketeer isn't very good, basically.
It isn't, but a lot of those films aren't very good. I don't think it's so bad that it's not, that you wouldn't have never seen it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it's the setting, isn't it? I think it's the fact that it wouldn't appeal to a kid, especially in the, when I was a kid. If you tell me it's about a guy in a jetpack in the 30s, I'm not going to be bothered.
Yeah. Well, again, I think much like The Guyver, they owned this property, and it's how they translated this property. I mean, if you reading up on how it was made, it was pitched in 1986.
Yeah.
And it just went through all these problems because Disney wanted to make it into a kids' film and merchandise the heck out of it. And the guy that invented the comic, Dave Stevens, his comic is a bit more sexy, a bit more, not darker, but a bit more adult, and he didn't want it to go that direction, and the guys writing it, I think they said the guys writing it were sacked 3 times and rehired again. And they were putting in, was it over 5 years, Disney fired and rehired Bilson and DeMeo 3 times. DeMeo explained that executives would previously exercised dialogue 3 months later. Scenes that had been thrown out 2 years ago were put back in because they suddenly were like, oh no, actually, put that it sounds like it was just a bit of a nightmare to get made, and maybe they didn't really know what they were making a bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can see that, can't you? Sorry, Chris, go on.
Do you think it could have worked better as an animation?
Maybe.
Right. Yeah. It could have.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know.
It's before steampunk and that really got popular, so they didn't really have a.
Because it's even before like Dick Tracy and stuff like that, isn't it? I mean, they were doing something that if they'd done a few years later with a bit better technology, a bit more, a better leading man, because this guy is just awful.
Yeah.
Then I think it actually could have been a huge hit for Disney.
No, but I disagree with that though, because That's what I mean when I say it's like one of those films. Other than the leading man, I don't think there's anything really that wrong with this on a technical level. It's competently directed. It's got a good score. The cast is quite good rather than the main.
Villain's great.
It's got a lot of nice set pieces and things like that. It rolls along at a nice pace. It seems like a perfectly competent blockbuster, which is why, as I said before, and that's why I just think that it was just doomed to fail from the start because of the setting. Because I'm not sure how you would do that better. Really, I don't know what you would do. What if you made that in like '95, for instance, or 2000? What would they do differently?
No, you're right. So, do you think that it was wrong? Well, yeah, but then if you change it all and update it, then what's the point?
Oh no! I don't think they should. I just think that the story they've got to tell is never going to have mass appeal. Which is probably why it's not come back yet. I mean, I know that I've read they're trying to do it again, but...
Yeah, no, I read that.
It's probably why it hasn't come, because it's just certain things just aren't going to appeal. Like, I mean, I read at one point they greenlighted it again because of the success of Indiana Jones, but really, Indiana Jones is about, like, travelling the world and, you know, exploring an ancient world and all this sort of stuff, and it's different every time, and this was just Hollywood, wasn't it, basically, in the 30s.
Yeah. And I mean, this reading, they spent so much money making everything like accurate. Like that Bulldog Cafe was a real place. Like they recreated this, that, and the other. They had all these extras. The special effects alone for the Zeppelin were $400,000. There were 700 extras at the air show with 25 vintage aircraft, but it just doesn't look like it doesn't look. I can't see the money in a weird way. I don't know.
It looks TV. It doesn't look
a little
filmy,
yeah.
I don't think.
I don't know what it is about it. However, Timothy Dalton is brilliant. I loved him.
Some great lines he's got as well.
He's fantastic.
Amazing lines. He should have had his own film out of this, his own franchise from Timothy Dalton. Just back in, I don't know. Yeah, it should have just been more focused on Timothy Dalton because he was so good. I loved him in it.
Yeah, he was absolutely superb. Everything about him, his character, the set they had him in, his house was fantastic. And the showdown on the blimp at the end was great stuff. Chris,
and he was obviously.
Go on.
I was just going to say he was obviously really enjoying himself. Like he was kind of reveling that character and just kind of really going for it. And it's kind of around Bond as well. Was he still Bond at this point? I think
he read that they just off Bond, wasn't he? I think
So they based a lot of the marketing in England around him, basically pitching it for him.
See, I doubt now you could do Bond and do anything else like that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Daniel Craig's just done something else, hasn't he? Which is
but he hates being James Bond. So
yeah, but he's doing another one.
Yeah. Enough money turns it all around, doesn't it? I think that's the
actors.
That's the thing. The hat was a point of contention for the film. Did you read that people argued over how his hat should look?
Oh, really?
Right.
The hat's great though.
But I thought the hat was fantastic.
Streamlined.
I like the Howard Hughes thing. I thought I liked using him because you either get it or you don't get it. If you don't get it, you just think he's a kind of like Tony Stark kind of, oh look, here's a millionaire inventor. But if you get it, it's kind of like the little spruce goose joke and all that stuff. The only thing I thought was really ridiculous was when they show that weird animation of a load of animated Nazi rocket men, and they go, well, look what the Nazis are going to do. It's like, what? Yeah. Make a terrible animation? Like,
that's not evidence.
No, it's not evidence at all, is it? It's literally not evidence. I mean, they could have animated resurrecting like a monster or Godzilla or something. What would they go, oh, well, the Nazis have got Godzilla, so we better think about it. That bit was really dumb. And I hated the bit where Paul Sorvino suddenly goes, what? He's a Nazi? Oh, no, us mafia guys. No, we're against all these.
Bit cheesy.
Go get them, boy. Like, it was really, really cheesy. It didn't work.
No.
They should have done that a bit better somehow. I can see that you could do that, but it just shouldn't have happened literally in a 3-second moment in his head during a gunfight. It didn't make sense that he would suddenly go, what? It's a nut. Oh no, I'm going to shoot at these guys instead. Like, that was.
Yep. Yeah. It's a funny one because I agree with Sam. Like, actually, there's nothing. It all kind of works, but then it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's all there,
The song is
I
sort
just,
of less.
I just don't think it's shot filmically. I just think it's not very well shot.
Yeah,
think it's that?
I think it though. I mean, like Joe Johnston. I think this is it's just him, isn't it? Like Jurassic Park 3 and. He did Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, didn't he, as well? Like, it's just that sort of thing. Like, that's just his sort of MO. He's like a B tier director, isn't he? You know, I don't think he can.
Well, the fact that
flashy.
You can see why they got him to do Captain America, the first Avenger. This is almost like kind of like, well, you could blatantly easily do that because it's just a better hero with more money, but exactly the same setting. You know, all the Nazis again. He was just kind of repeating it again, wasn't he, by doing that. But I don't know. Or maybe it's just the story is just a bit weak, isn't it? It's a bit of a weak. Yeah, there's no real tension, is there? There's no real drama. Because
also, where does it go from there? You know, like what if they'd done the trilogy they wanted? What would the Rocketeer be? Would he go to Germany? Do you think, or
Soviets?
Do you think?
A team of Rocketeers. You've always got to do more for the sequels. It has to be now. There's 4 Rocketeers. Yeah,
they could call it the Rocketeers, couldn't they, with an S? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, isn't that what the sequel is? This new thing, and that's what I read.
Oh right, okay.
I did write it down. Talk amongst yourselves. I will find my notes.
He couldn't fly though, could he? Like aerodynamically, I mentioned.
I thought they explained that with a hat. That's what they said.
That hat. Yeah, whatever.
It's his rudder.
Yeah. He's got no lift, though.
It says, July 28th, 2016, it was confirmed that Walt Disney will be rebooting the Rocketeer titled The Rocketeers. Yeah. It is reported that The Rocketeers will be a reboot sequel that takes place 6 years after the original film, with a black female pilot in the lead. The film's plot sees the lead take on the mantle of the Rocketeer after Cliff Secord has gone missing while fighting the Nazis. Ooh. So there you go. That's how they'll try and reboot this. I mean, Disney doesn't sit on anything they've got to make money out of. Like, they're not going to sit on that, are they?
No. I don't know. I think some things you probably should just leave alone. I just can't see it catching on again, really. I mean, maybe it will. In a post-Captain America world, maybe it will, but...
I'll tell you what, if you really steampunk it, and I think there's a big audience.
Yeah, but then have you seen... What was that film with all CG backgrounds?
Yeah,
that was awful.
Something of Tomorrow.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
That was a steampunk Rocketeer, wasn't it, in a way, I think? And that was dire.
What the hell was that film? We'll have to watch that.
I think we should do that one. That's quite a good one to do on this, I think.
Yeah. That's got, like, Jude Law and Angelina Jolie in it.
The whole thing looks like a cutscene from, like, a late 90s PC game. Like a...
Yes, like, between Command and Conquer.
Command and Conquer Red Alert, something like that. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
The other funny thing I read about the Rocketeer was Disney had a special mechanism built, especially for a film called a shaky cam, which was the opposite of a steady cam. It introduced vibrations
just
into
someone
the
holding
picture.
The camera, right? Yeah.
Oh no, it was a device that deliberately shaked it. It was used in the scenes filmed inside the Zeppelin to give the impression of the power of the engines. When the movie went to video, the effect didn't transfer too well and was therefore steadied. So they invented something to deliberately shake the whole scene, and then they had to steady the entire scene because it looked stupid. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's why we don't watch films in shaky cam anymore. Failed experiment there in filmmaking. Unless you want to bring it back, Chris, for maybe Somnus 2.
I always do. Because I can't afford a steady cam.
Yeah. Somnus 2 in shaky cam.
Yeah. 3D.
Yeah, 3D. My God, everyone would be thrown up, wouldn't they?
VR.
Yeah. VR Rocketeer, bloody hell. Okay. One final thing. Timothy Dalton's character, I don't know if you read this, was based on Errol Flynn and the fact that he was allegedly a Nazi sympathiser. And I thought, that sounds interesting. So I read into it, and you should, if you're interested in that sort of thing, Google it. It's quite interesting. But basically, he wasn't a Nazi sympathiser, and someone's made it all up in a book. But it was such a because he was dead and stuff. It became such a people just take it as fact now. Like people just say, "Oh yeah, Errol Flynn, Nazi sympathiser," and it's not actually true.
Has his family sued the people that claimed that?
I think so. I think the book was taken off the shelves and stuff. But once it was sort of out, I guess it's such
he was
like
Austrian, wasn't he? Errol Flynn.
Yeah,
was he Austrian?
Yeah, he was. No, he wasn't. He's Australian, wasn't he? Australian.
Yeah, but
Same thing.
No, I thought it was Austrian, or
No,
his family was originally from there or somewhere. I don't know.
Anyway, Google it. It's quite interesting. I think someone's making a film out of that. Really, the besmirching of Errol Flynn. That'd be a good name for a film. The besmirching of Errol Flynn, wouldn't it?
Cool. Quickly patent that. Yeah. Don't let them take that off you.
Yeah, besmirching. Yes.
I hope Timothy Dalton comes back to play him because I think he'd be great.
Yeah, there's not enough Timothy Dalton, is there, in films?
There's not enough Timothy Dalton baddies. I mean, obviously...
Is he still going? Isn't he?
Well, spoilers, Hot Fuzz, obviously he's a baddie
he's
in that. But he doesn't... I think he should do more. He's a great...
I think he was the best Bond. He's my favourite Bond.
Don't know about that.
Controversial.
A little bit controversial, yeah.
I think I'm with you there, Chris,
Because he was like...
Connery, it's obviously Connery.
I don't really like James Bond, though, and that's that...
Connery and Moore are like joke films.
No.
Yeah,
they're like pantomime.
No.
Timothy Dalton was like a blueprint to what like GoldenEye was with what's his face?
No, I say what Daniel Craig is. I think...
Yeah,
like
he's more modern. He was like so
to
realistic and modern for the times, like in how it was done.
Yeah,
it's great. I don't even like Bond, but there's my favourite.
No, nor me, but I think I'd agree with you. Mainly because he's the least like Bond. I think that's why. I think. I like him.
I'm not a Daniel Craig fan, I have to say.
No.
He can't run.
He can't run.
He runs weird, don't you think?
Does he?
Yeah, watch.
I've never seen him run.
So the Guyver ran weird, like he pooed himself.
Yeah, but he's wearing that ridiculous suit. You'd run like that. Daniel Craig's got no excuse. He's in a suit. He's in a proper suit. He doesn't have the Guyver's wearing those stupid pads and stuff and bum enhancements and stuff. I don't know what Daniel Craig's problem is. But,
all right, let's rank the Rocketeer then. Right, I'll go first because I guess I'm going to be probably the most positive on this one. I'm going to say... I think this should be number 26, below Phantom Menace and above Surrogates. Any advance on that, Chris?
I'm saying below it.
What?
Go on.
No, I'd take that.
You take that?
It definitely wouldn't be higher than that.
No.
But, yeah.
Alex?
Lower. I think it's below Ender's Game.
Oh,
maybe below Safety Not Guaranteed. I just think you're right. I think there's something wrong with it. It's just a bit flat. It just feels... I don't know. Maybe if you were watching it, maybe a child watching it would be like... I don't know. There was something really flat about it that I didn't... Oh, but the Timothy Dalton's good. Oh, I don't really care. It didn't inspire enough... It didn't inspire enough anything in me, I guess.
It's a bit like Mission to Mars in its flatness.
Yeah, exactly. It is a bit like Mission to Mars. There was nice moments...
I think it's a more competent overall
see what they were trying to do, but it was like
my issue is Ender's Game. I love Ender's Game, and you've put that way too low, so that's my issue here. And Real Steel. It's not as good as Real Steel.
Real Steel was terrible. It's like Surrogate to Edge of Tomorrow. Like it's an all right film, just all right.
Yeah.
It's not. I'd say the bits of Mission to Mars are terrible.
I will not see that film ever again for, willingly. I'm not going to go out and watch it again, I don't think.
Which film? This film?
The Rocketeer.
Or Mission to Mars?
Both,
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I think a little bit lower, but...
All right, let's compromise them. We'll compromise. Let's go... Should we go for 29? So that's below Hunger Games and above Real Steel.
Okay, I like Real Steel, but yeah, okay.
That's halfway between what we both said, I think.
Okay, we'll settle there.
Yeah.
Come on, Disney, make this work. Someone needs to go out and make the Rocketeer work, because something's wrong with it, and,
Yeah.
They did a sci-fi animated one with, wasn't it like set in space? Like pirates in space?
Treasure Planet?
Yeah, Treasure Planet.
Oh.
It was a massive flop, wasn't it? I've never seen Treasure Planet.
Was it?
Yeah.
I saw the other day, Lilo and Stitch. You remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they came out like the same time as 9/11, and there's a sequence at the end, like where the
Lilo bombs the two towers.
What? No, literally, there's a a jumbo jet flying through the city, between the skyscrapers, and they change it all. There's an A and B comparison on YouTube where you can watch what they changed it to. They changed it to like flying through the forest instead of it was literally like a jumbo jet flying through the city.
Oh dear.
And then they made the inside cockpit look more alien and made it into a spaceship rather than a jet.
On another tangent, just from that, have either of you seen the episode of the X-Files spin-off, The Four Horsemen, about that basically is 9/11 before it happened? Do you know about this?
No.
So, do you remember the Four Horsemen, the hackers from the X-Files?
Yeah.
So they had a spin-off show that was short-lived and wasn't very good, but it was all right. I was watching it because that's the sort of thing I do. And the one episode, it's about basically a plot to blow up the Twin Towers by crashing a plane into it. And it was like made in the mid-90s. It's like it's you should Google it. It's like almost the exact what happened. It's bizarre. It's so strange.
Wow.
Yeah. So
who wrote that episode, or who was in control of that episode?
I couldn't read the name. It was something in Arabic.
You're joking, aren't you?
That's a joke.
Yeah, it's a joke.
It's a good joke. Did you have that set up?
No, not at all. Actually,
it was Ben Laban, and he'd written a few scripts for Hollywood at the time.
Yeah.
He just tested the waters, see how it went down. Oh, they seem to really like this plotline.
He thought he'd exploit its commercial value first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because they cancelled the series. Is why he flew it into the towers. Because he's like, fine.
I'll show you this can work.
Yeah. People said that
because he was probably
unrealistic.
He was in a boardroom at like CBS and were like, we just don't buy this. It's just not believable.
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
How could this ever happen?
Right, I'll show you.
And thus ended his career in Hollywood, and he left.
He left for pastures new. Let's move on before we get we offend anybody else. Right, let's have a break and come back with the blockbuster for this week, T2 Judgment Day. And we are back with our final film of the day. It's the blockbuster film, the showstopper. It's Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Directed, produced and written by James Cameron. Something to say about that music. I love that theme. That, the rest of the music in that film is awful. Like real TV movie sort of badness.
Yeah.
Which is something else these three films share, is that all the music in all these... Oh no, actually Rocketeer was good, wasn't it? No, sorry, I take that back.
Yeah.
Guyver was terrible.
The best bit of music in Terminator 2 is the Guns N' Roses in the bit where Arnie has a box of roses with a gun in it.
Yeah.
Which I didn't even work. I actually only seen it in cinema recently with my mate, and he was like, "Oh shit! Look, it's got a gun in some," like quite loudly in the screen. I was like, "Oh my god, yeah, you're right!" Like, well, I'd never noticed it before at all. So yeah, that's my favourite music bit.
So Terminator 2, a film that no doubt all three of us have seen an awful lot. I mean, I'd say at one point in life, this is probably my favourite film. Last week, we watched one of the trailers for this film, and we all commented on the fact that it sort of showed Arnie as a bad guy, and he didn't know he's a good guy. So I thought this time, I'll watch it, like pretending I don't know, Arnie is bad. And really, that first half hour is so well misdirected to make him think he's the bad guy. When you start trying to put yourself in that frame, the fact that Rob Patrick's a policeman, you don't see him kill anybody. He attacks people, doesn't actually kill them. Unlike Arnie, all the setup of it, they do a real good job of keeping that twist for when he walks down the corridor with a shotgun and does that. However, after that, I thought, oh, that's so good. It must have been what happened. So I googled it and stuff, and the marketing actually ruined the twist. The trailers did all have the twist in them.
Because did you see? I sent you where that trailer came from.
Yes.
Did you see?
Yeah.
Because it was made by Stan Winston, because like you say, Cameron didn't want to give it away.
Yeah.
And he gave him quite a lot of money to make that trailer.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as the film was finished and it got out of Cameron's hands, marketing at the film studio TriStar, as it was, basically, revealed the shit out of it. And if you YouTube the other trailers, they're all just like, he used to be a bad guy, but now he's a goodie and stuff like that.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? Because it is such a really well constructed first half hour. Anyway, before I tell you what I think about it, let's see. Alex, what do you think about Terminator 2 in this day and age?
Well, yeah, because I saw this in 3D before it was coming out, but I thought it was really good, and I thought it was just as good. It had an age.
This in 3D.
Yeah, it's come out in 3D. Go see it in 3D. I liked it in 3D. There was no shaky cam, but it was good. No, and I don't. I still think it's brilliant. I think it's stood the test of time. I think everyone in it's great, apart from Edward Furlong. He annoyed me more than I thought he was going to annoy me.
Yeah, he's awful.
And I don't know if it's his fault or if it's the 90s fault. I don't know if all that stupid Ay caramba, hasta la vista...
His attitude, yes.
All that silly sass talk, as Chris would say. Chewed. All the rude chewed, his extreme chewed.
Yes.
I don't know if it's the 90s fault. Because the concept, much like the wonderful... lowly rated Ender's Game, the concept of someone who has been born and told their whole life they are the saviour of the human race is an extremely interesting concept, and how would that fuck them up, and the little speech he does about we've gone through all these stepdads he had that teach him like weapons and all this weird stuff. It's actually there's an interesting character there, but maybe a teenage boy is not the domain to deal with that character, and that's the problem. Yeah,
I think you're right. I would argue that you're right, it's an interesting concept. I'm not sure it is in any way interesting in this film.
No.
But, Chris, what do you think about Terminator 2? I'm seeing it this time.
I really like Terminator 2.
Still like it?
Yes. Yeah. I think it's definitely the best Terminator.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think?
I don't agree.
Noise there from Alex.
I don't agree. But
yeah, I'd say it's
continue.
One is the best, but yeah,
one's the best. Carry
on. I think it's clever. The villain's good.
Yeah, brilliant. He's fantastic.
Yeah,
probably the best villain in the Terminator films.
Yes, hell yeah.
They've mucked around with them ideas since, and they haven't really. Gone anywhere.
No,
even though it doesn't make much sense. Liquid metal. I don't know.
The whole thing doesn't make much sense. The thing that annoyed me about them not making sense was the whole fact it's all circular, because of course the hand being there is there because it came from the future. But where did it come from in the first place? From the past,
Yeah.
So where did it start?
But the Marcus, what's his face? All that stuff is actually is interesting as well. Like when they go to, she tries to just kill him, and they go to his house and. He has like a breakdown, and like I think that's really, and he redeems himself by blowing everything up. Like his character's actually an interesting character, and it's probably not enough of it really.
He's just a sketch.
Oh, I think so. No, I think he's.
Right. So as I said, probably used to be my favourite film as a kid, but this film for me has absolutely nosedived on rewatching it. For me, this was 3 good sort of set pieces with a load of like just guff in between. So you've got the chase at the start, the truck and the all that business, and the shotgun on the back of the motorcycle. That's good fun, and breaking out of the that's the second one. The second cutscene's breaking out of the asylum, and that chase again with him running after him. That's good. And the third one is the cops attacking Cyberdyne and all that business with the helicopter and stuff like that. Other than those three like action scenes, the rest of the film I just found boring and poorly acted by everyone. Really, I don't think Lynn Hamilton's very good in it. I think she's really overplaying it in a silly way. No. I agree with Furlong's completely terrible. I can't stand the trying to humanise Arnie sort of thing, like of all the cute thumbs up and hasta la vista and stuff. And I completely hold my hands up. When I was a kid, I did love that. I used to cry at the end when he put his thumb up. Well, I don't know what's happened to me, but the world has worn me down. And this time, I just wanted to throw up.
You don't even like E.T., so something's gone wrong.
Well, I never liked E.T. though. I never liked that. But yeah, no, it reeked of Titanic and Avatar James Cameron, and not Aliens James Cameron for me. It was maudlin, and the dialogue just didn't. You could, like I said earlier on in the Guyver, you could see the script being read. That people weren't talking naturally to each other at all.
I think Linda Hamilton is amazing in this. I think it's one of the best transformations of a character, to go from how she is in Terminator to how she is in Terminator 2, and it to make sense. You know how she transforms that character. I think it's up there with Ripley. She's one of the best film heroines, definitely.
No, I don't think so.
Definitely. I think she's.
I think the idea is good, but I just don't think she acts very well at all. I think she's very stomping over dramatic with it.
No, she's mental, but that's what's good about it. She's a bit unhinged, and I think that's what makes it great. Is that she's a little bit unpredictable. She's a little bit. Maybe you do think, well, you can see why everyone thinks she's mad, but obviously she's not. But you can kind of see why everyone thinks, well, this is just a mad woman, and you would be mad. I think having that information.
I think your point about saying the 90s ruined Edward Furlong, I think some of that might be coming into why I don't like Linda Hamilton, because obviously when she dresses up in a military gear with stupid glasses and a little hat, and it all just looks a bit, I think that's the 90s.
Yeah, 90s stuff is hugely out of fashion at the moment. That's the thing as well.
Yeah.
Not with the kids, it isn't. Kids all dress like the 90s now, don't they?
Do they?
Yeah.
No.
Tie-dye.
Can't follow this damn fashion.
I mean, you're right about the Arnie, the whole humanisation of Arnie and him being like Edward Furlong's dad and all that. It is very commercial. It's a lot more of a commercial film than Terminator is. It's a big studio film, and Terminator was a tiny guerrilla horror film. So, but I don't think it's as bad as you're saying the Avatar, and I guess he was moving that way, but I mean, I can see you.
I'm being over dramatic, I think, because I was so shocked, but I just was surprised that it just. I guess knowing it so well also doesn't help, but it just seemed. No. I don't know. Something about it just really didn't work for me this time at all. It was a shame. But
well, I still thought it was just as good, and I thought Robert Patrick, as Chris said, Robert Patrick's such a great villain, and he was almost even better. His take on that character is completely different to Arnie's. He's physically different, but just how he acts just so odd. He's so odd in a way. He is alien. He is. It's such a weird. Yeah, because I've read he said he based it on animals and stuff, and Native Americans. He stalks like a panther, or he moves his head like a hawk, and it's all quite weird. How he came with the stuff. It's all a bit odd if you read about it. It's a bit weird. Yeah.
No, it's a fantastic performance. It really is. Also, Hank from Breaking Bad was in this one as well. He was here last week. Do you know what Hank was in this film?
No.
He is. Oh, I know this. No, tell me.
He was the leader of the SWAT group that came in, and when what's his name? The Cyberdyne guy's got the bomb, and he's like, I don't know how long I can hold this. The lead guy, that's Hank out of Breaking Bad again. I thought I spot that thinning hairline anywhere when I saw that.
He's a good actor, though, that guy.
He's a good actor, yeah. No, he's good. I forgot his name. Dean something, isn't it?
Yeah, he's on Instagram.
Dean Norris.
Yeah.
Sorry, Alex.
Can either of you name the two 90s cameos that the T-1000 made? Two films where the T-1000 came back and played by Robert Patrick as the T-1000. What are the two films?
Spice World, the movie.
Wayne's World. It's Wayne's World and.
Not Spice World.
Do you know the other one?
Hang on, let me just
not
think.
Spice World. Do you want a clue?
Yeah, go on, give me a clue.
It's another Arnie film.
Is it Last Action Hero?
Yes, it is. Yeah. He walks past him, and he's dressed exactly in the right. There you go.
He's good in Wayne's World.
They do that.
Yeah, that's great. That bit. It's a good little joke, isn't it? It works well. Yeah.
Well, is it? Not sure it is.
What a Wayne's World there, Chris.
It's not
Yeah.
ha funny, is it? It's not like...
It's this good little... Yeah, it's a good little reference.
Made me laugh.
Yeah.
Any more to say on Terminator 2, either of you?
Best trailer.
Best trailer.
Yeah.
That was a good trailer, yeah.
Yeah, very good trailer.
Did they make the ride for this, or was it the first one they made the ride for? The big ride?
No, the ride is for this one, but it's a lot later, I think, the ride, wasn't it?
Yeah. 'Cause that was big. That was big news, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that...
That's 3D, wasn't it?
It was.
3D?
I'm
4D
pretty
or
sure
whatever it
that
is they
was
used to do.
made a lot later, wasn't it, though? So that wasn't in Florida.
Yeah,
I was
wasn't
in Florida, I don't think. Yeah, 96 they made that. Opened in April 96.
Yeah.
Yeah. T2
I read
3D
this-
Battle Across Time.
Yes.
I did read that he, in the production notes, James Cameron said he was... That the liquid metal, the T-1000, was supposed to be in the first Terminator. That his original script was that the Terminator failed halfway through the film, and then you kind of cut to the future, and they then kind of get this, like, they go to this cupboard or whatever, and they're like, they release the T-1000 and send them that back as like a second attempt.
Right.
In that first film,
okay.
But he couldn't really do the effects, and he thought it was a bit too much, so he kind of shelved it for the next film.
Yeah.
And then the way it kind of mutated was he thought, well, I want to have that character, and it can't be Arnie, so who's the goodie? Well, why not have Arnie as the good? So that's how he kind of came, like how the pieces kind of fell together, because he'd always had the idea of that liquid metal Terminator being there, and the idea that it was more kind of violent and unpredictable and a bit more kind of, nasty. I don't know if it is nastier than the first Terminator film. They're both pretty unrelenting.
Oh, yes. Okay, good. Well, yeah, generally positive. I think me less so, but...
Didn't like it at all, did you?
No, I say I enjoyed those 3 cutscenes still. Those, like, bits of action. And, yeah, it was all right. I don't know. Anyway, let's rank it. Chris, you can go first this time. Where would you put this on our giant list?
I would put this not hugely high. Probably around 18, 19.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Alex?
I'd probably put it at 9.
Oh, okay.
So it's above Fifth Element, below Invasion of Body Snatchers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, before I watched it again, I think I would have put it around 9. But I think where you put it, Chris, that's sort of where I'd put it. So...
well, let's...
Is it better than Wall-E, though? That's always the question.
No.
No, it's not.
It's not better. It is better than Wall-E. It's definitely better than Wall-E.
Well, I don't think it is, because it's going to go lower than Wall-E on the list.
No, I
so-
think... Actually, no, it is better than Wall-E, isn't it? I don't think
come on.
I don't think it's better than Dread, though.
Dread's more of a complete film, in a weird way.
I mean, the thing is, though, I mean, this is where the list obviously... I mean, the list falls apart in a lot of ways, doesn't it? But the fact that, is Terminator 2 better than Wall-E?
This is the questions we ask ourselves every week.
It's like asking, is my foot better than the UN? It's just...
The stuff... I get what... I guess the question here is that if it was so dated for you, Sam... Will it only get more dated? Because I sat there and I was like, right, I'm not going to let Edward Furlong annoy me, because that's exactly what Sam wants. Sam wants Edward Furlong to annoy me and me to think his film's terrible. But then as soon as I saw Edward Furlong, he's all like, oh, easy money, and he's putting the thing in the cash. I was like, no, Edward Furlong's really annoying me.
He's awful, isn't he?
And I was like, but is it just going to get more dated? The problem is bits of that are just going to look worse, aren't they?
I mean, the effects look terrible, don't they? They don't help at all, the effects work.
Well, the version I saw in 3D, it looked really good, but...
Have they redone them?
No, they haven't redone anything. It just looks super clean. Like, it just, the way they cleaned up everything, it just looked great. I think they've only tweaked one... I think there was one stunt bit that they just tweaked it a tiny bit because it looked a bit obvious it was the stunt double. I think it's the only thing he's touched, he said.
There's a lot of shots of Arnie that you can tell it's not him.
Yes, that big bloke looks like really. Yeah. So maybe it should be
the film
lower.
he's made his most money from was Twins.
Was it really?
Yeah, because they took almost no wages to get that made, him and DeVito.
Yeah.
But they had huge percentages. Yeah.
You've got to get on the back end, haven't you? Percentage on the back end. That's what you do.
Yeah. They knew it was going to make money because it had him and DeVito in it. So
Yeah.
It's Twins, obviously not science fiction, but is Junior classed as a science fiction film?
Yeah.
probably
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
So it's twins because they use cloning for twins.
He's a clone, is he?
Oh.
Yeah, they're like they use like the embryos and stuff from 15 guys and
So
you know.
does that mean we can have Last Action Hero, Twins, and
Junior.
and Junior in 1 week? Does that mean we can do all of those?
Yeah. The Schwarzenegger Comedy Hour.
Yeah. Wow.
That's Christmas week, that is. Looking forward to that one. I bloody love Last Action Hero.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Charles Dance with his weird eyeballs. Sorry, yes, let's get back to the task at hand.
I've allowed it. I'll allow it to go lower than 9, definitely, because maybe you're right. Maybe it'll just keep dating. So where were you saying?
I think 15
What did
now.
Chris say?
Chris said
15.
What did you say, Chris? It said 19. I think I'm going to say 15 because I think it was better than Silent Running.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
but
15.
But then you've got like Mars Attacks. That's better. Dread better. Yeah.
15 then.
Okay. Cool. 15. Let's put it in. That's good. That's not the battle. I thought I was going to have a real battle on my hands there, but I'm glad that I wasn't the only one to think.
It's just Edward Furlong basically saved that by being awful.
Yes. Right, so
90s Edward Furlong.
Our 3 new films are at number 15, T2 Judgment Day. At number I can't even find it. Number 30, The Rocketeer. And at number 41, The Guyver. So you've heard from us. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 films definitely worse than The Guyver. And 2 of those were directed by Ridley Scott. I wish he could see this list right now. He'd be swearing up a storm, wouldn't he? Right.
Covenant's out soon, isn't it? Covenant's coming out on the DVD.
It's out. I saw it in the shops today.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I've seen it.
Do you call it Covenant, like Coventry?
Covenant. Isn't that what it's called?
Covenant. It's a regional thing, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think you're saying...
Sorry.
No, it's all right. Apologise for your accent.
It's a crap film, don't be sorry.
Yeah, don't be sorry, it's crap. Right, before we go, one more thing to do. So, as we mentioned previously, we've got some birthdays coming up. Well, my birthday's happened. It was last Friday.
Happy birthday!
Thank you. Hey.
Are you gonna? Oh yeah, what did you get?
I got a lot of barley wine because that's my new beer of choice.
In the Middle Ages.
I'd like to be, yeah. I got... What else did I get? I got a lovely pillow for in the bath so I can have a little inflatable bath pillow. I'm in my 30s now.
Listeners, Sam was 62 at his birthday.
Yeah.
Barley wine, bath pillow.
You're
writing these down.
You're going to think that I'm joking, but I actually also got a foot massager. I'm not even joking, I really did.
To get a walker and a stair lift and one of those slankets or whatever, those blankets you can wear.
I've hit that stage of life where you just want to...
When does your bus pass come
I just want to
through?
relax. No, I'm not going on a bus. No, I'm not on the buses yet, but... I've got some more cool things as well, but I can't think of any of those cool things right now. I'm sure there was some.
You got a nice book. I saw a book on his Instagram.
Yes, I got the folio edition of Foucault's Pendulum, which is very nice. I've got
What that was?
It's the greatest book of all time.
Cool.
Okay, right. So anyway, what were we talking about? Birthdays. Before I got distracted. So yes, we're going to do a thing where for each birthday we get to pick a film that we're going to rewatch at a point in the future once all 3 of our birthdays have happened. So post April next year, and then once a year we will then do the same thing. Basically, rewatch 3 films and re-put them in the list. So if any film we feel strongly about is wrong on the list, we can nominate it and it gets put aside for then. So, Chris will be doing one in a couple of weeks, but it's my turn first. And the film that I want to be re-evaluated is Wally.
Really? Oh, okay. Wow.
Oh, right, cool. Can get it higher. Brilliant.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. Yeah, will it go higher? Will it go lower?
I'm going to come up with some very convincing arguments for why Wally is too high.
Well, I'm going to also have an arsenal.
Okay, that is an interesting pick. That's a good one.
So the first birthday film was Wally. It probably won't be for like another 9 months yet, so we get to it. But
yeah,
and I think probably in a fortnight's time we will find out what Chris's.
Wally.
We can't watch Wally 3 times.
It's not high enough.
Actually, it could be that every year from now on, Wally gets nominated. We just keep watching Wally over and over again until he breaks you, until you're like, I'm sick of Wally.
Yeah.
50.
No more Wally.
I hope you're going to invent a nice little kind of sting that you play before that birthday announcement. I don't know, maybe like science fiction birthday or something. I don't know.
Just my voice with echo on.
Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, I think that'd be good.
That'll do.
Yeah, brilliant. I can do that. Right, that's the end. Join us next week for another preview show. It's Spielberg week next week to celebrate the re-releasing 4K of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Everyone loves a bit of Spielberg, don't they? So
he's all right.
He's all right.
Yeah.
So we'll be getting in touch. Well, no, we'll be getting in touch. No, you'll be getting in touch with us. Email us.
Yeah.
Follow us, like us, subscribe to us. We are on Twitter.
At SF Rating System.
At SF Rating System.
Instagram.
Science Fiction Rating System. I've written them down so that you can't catch us out.
Where's our website?
www.sciencefictionratingsystem.com.
Yeah, go there to see the list and all the previous episodes and comment on stuff there. And finally, where can you email us?
On your
Science
computer.
Fiction Rating System at gmail.com.
Brilliant. Fantastic.
Bang.
I'm just going to check the email inbox. Correspondence. Just Mrs. Nicole Mawar saying, "Dear
not her again.
dear beloved one, dear beloved, dear beloved one." That should be.
I'll see where this is going.
Oh no, this is quite sad. We can't know. This is too sad
Okay.
for me. Yeah.
Not even it's too sad to take the piss out of.
Yeah, it's too sad.
She doesn't want us to review Wally, basically, is what she said, and that's not going to happen.
Right. Okay. Join us next week for Spielberg. For now, that's the end. Cheerio.
Bye!